Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat the No Celebrity News, reality TV, which is the finale of Real Housewives of Orange County, and today's Jeff Lewis Live. Hope y'all all had an amazing Halloween. Wait, does the whole world celebrate Halloween, or is that just a U.S. thing? You know how like Thanksgiving is obviously for when the Pilgrims or whatever Halloween is, Thanksgiving is for. And then I think Canada has a different Thanksgiving, or maybe they call it Boxing Day. Is that the same thing? Maybe it's just a day to get together for family. I know Christmas obviously is a worldwide thing for any Christians that celebrate, but I'm not really sure about Halloween. Oh my gosh, Rebecca's in Berlin and Orlando for Michael. Laura's in Omaha. Thank you, Mary. Shout out everybody that is on so early. How are you? By the way, what time is it in Germany? What time is it over in Berlin? Anyways, okay. We had a great Halloween. It did not rain. It was amazing. I drove over to another neighborhood where my daughter and her friends were trick-or-treating, and boy, those houses went all out. I mean, the smoke. This one house had about 8 different people dressed up as different monsters and looked like statues, but then they would start walking towards people with a knife, like the Michael guy. Lots of people outside with like the pop-up tents and the adults out having fun. It was so fun. It wasn't just, I mean, no offense, but our neighborhood is great, but we're kind of boring. Yes, I decorate outside, and I wear a witch's hat and come to the door. This year, my husband and Luna Luna was a hot dog. If you didn't see my Instagram stories last night, check it out before it expires. She's a hot dog, an 84-pound hot dog. Anyways, but we just let kids knock on the door and we say happy Halloween, and give them candy and say your outfit's cute. This neighborhood went all out, so it was super cute. But it kind of made me wonder, I wonder if I can see Jeff doing that in about 3 to 4 years, whenever Monroe gets a little bit older and her friends, I could see him hiring some people to do this all out, Halloween extravaganza. One house had like a cauldron, like a black cauldron, a kettle out, and that's where their candy was. And they had this little 3-year-old giving out the candy. And then when we came up, my daughter, they were with 5 teenagers, young teenagers with my kid and her friends. And they were like, we're all out of candy. And my kid and them were like, oh, it's okay. They weren't really there for the candy. They were there for the fun. Anyways, excuse the hair. She is hair. And this is what I did last night to better fit the witch's hat. I just pulled up, the little mini part. So this is kind of my wavy hair, what it tends to look like the older I get, when I get fresh out of the shower and don't flat iron and dry it. So yeah, I think so too. Krista says Jeff will be hosting big parties for Monroe and her friends. Yeah, I think that would be fun, right? Yes. Oh, they do trick-or-treating in Canada. Okay. It's all about the kids. I love that. What did I hear? Some story about Des Moines, was it Des Moines, Iowa? I was just texting with one of my mom's best friends in Iowa this morning, and they live a couple of hours. Why didn't I ask about this? Des Moines, Iowa, I guess, hasn't done trick-or-treating. They call it Beggar's Night instead of Halloween. They said it's Halloween, and this Iowa is letting them trick-or-treat for the first time in more than 85 years. They must go trick-or-treating during Beggar's Night, which is actually the day before Halloween, thanks to a policy turned tradition dating back to the 1930s. Oh, because of bad weather, they had to. Wow, that's interesting, right? Anyways, hello, Diane. How are you? I saw a lot of teenagers out last night, but you know what? My 17-year-old, he hung out with his friends. They went to, to a friend's house, and they went and got food at, what's that chicken place? Not Cane's. It's kind of a new one around here. I don't know. He didn't like it. Whatever it was called. Slim Chickens is what it was. They went and got food at Slim Chickens and just hung out. And then he came home. But we saw a lot of teenagers walking around too, because clearly, since we weren't in our neighborhood, I had to drive and park on the side of the street on one of the cul-de-sacs, and then we walked around the neighborhood. But it was such a great weather. It was overcast, but not rainy. It was a little bit foggy. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. There were so many people participating out in their yards. So, and people were driving on their golf carts, and one guy was dressed up as Chucky. A lot of adults were dressed up. I had my witch's hat on. I mean, it was great. Rescue with Me, Kimberly says, we had more teenagers than we had little children, but they were very kind, very respectful, and said happy Halloween. So candy they got. Exactly. And my kid is 14 and her friends they had a great time and they were so respectful. And this one had a big table out. A lot of them had tables out and they were like, just pick one. So of course they did. Some gave out the full size candy bars. Yeah. Krista says, if a teen wants to trick or treat, as long as they aren't thugging, I will treat them with good candy. Yeah. I mean, I think there's worse things for teenagers to be doing than out trick or treating. So I sort of love that for sure. What happened in Orlando? Wait, what happened, Michael Riley? Yvonne Gal says, that's so sad. We gave up handing out candy about 5 years ago because kids were going to nearby towns on the hunt. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of reasons that families choose to drive to neighborhoods and park and trick or treat there. They might live in an apartment complex that makes it a little more challenging. They might live in big land where, you can't walk a quarter of a mile to each house to go trick or treating. I mean, money, candy's expensive, all those things. So I don't know. Downtown. Somebody says, I guess I better watch the news. Okay, somebody let us know what the news was because I have no idea what happened in Orlando. I just know all the horrific looting and destruction in everything that happened in Los Angeles, sadly, after the freaking Dodgers won. Like, hello, the Dodgers won. Hello, everybody. Lots of OGs here. I love it. We didn't count, but my husband said as soon as we ended up getting a much later start because, teenagers and their plans change last minute. So it was this and this big group and then this big group and these moms. And at the end of the day, it was me with 5 kids. Fine. We had a great time, but I ended up not leaving till about 7, maybe 6:45, and we had only had a few. But also, it doesn't get dark here until Saturday night, whenever the time change happens. So I think everyone gets home after school and waits to get their kids dressed up and all the things. So it does seem like people are trick or treating later and later, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Wow. Chris Frangiola had 375 kids come to his house for candy. Wow, that's a lot. I don't count. I don't think we've ever counted. But I had those 2 big multi candy things like the M&Ms, the Hershey bars, the Reese's, the Twix, the Snickers, and the Milky Way. I think that's all that's in there. I've eaten almost one of everything, if not more than one of everything. Anyways, from Costco, it was the Kirkland brand, and they were $20 each, $19.99. And when I got home around 9:30 or 9:45, because we had dropped some other people off at a house, so we'd brought some teenagers home to their house. And when I got home to our house, we had at least almost half a bag of the other ones. So we really didn't give out a ton. I mean, anyways. It was so fun though. I'm kind of glad it's over. I'm kind of glad my kids aren't little. I don't know. No, maybe I like the excitement of them changing their outfit and wanting to be Buzz Lightyear and then changing their mind and being Spider-Man. And I don't know. It's so cute. Anyways. Christina, you only had 10 pieces left over. So we have never run out. But like I said, there was a couple of families last night at like 8:15. We were trick-or-treating about 7:20 till about 8:40. And, even one family gave the teenagers this big jar of leftover candy because they just were ready to be done with it. So anyways, Kevin says we had the biggest turnout of kids in years. I also think it was hopefully everyone had good weather like we did, but I also think is we're actually out of the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like I think 2022 it was still kind of wonky doodle. 2023 we were getting now 2024 it's like we're out of the pandemic and people are back to trick or treating. Kevin said we had the biggest turnout of kids in years. I had made 15 goodie bags and ran out. Had to get to use the leftover candy. Oh yeah, 15 goodie bags would not go far. I mean, I'm talking we get way more than 15, but we live in a subdivision where the houses are right next to each other, so and lots of little kids. Thank you, Sephora says, please everyone hit the thumbs up button. She is number 13. I really appreciate it. Oh no. Schools are full of COVID? I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm not hearing of it as much. Obviously, I did hear of it a little bit in the summer because we had a few friends get it. I obviously think I had it in August when I got home from the August Jeff Lewis Live event, but I never tested. I was literally so sick. I didn't even go get tested. I just stayed in my room and got away from everyone. Krista says, we're still covered up with COVID. We're just pretending it isn't happening. Schools are full of it. Okay. I don't know. I haven't heard of that. Anyways, thank you for Lori for hitting the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Okay, I really have nothing celebrity news going on except for Christmas is here. Mariah Carey has thawed herself out. She has gotten all dolled up. It is officially Christmas time. I have taken off. So above my door with some orange LED lights that I've had for, well, maybe I haven't had the same string for years, but I've done it for years and years. So I removed that today. I removed the witch that makes a cackling, loud noises and stuff and put her away. But my Halloween fall-ish wreath stays up. My fall front mat stays up. The pumpkins stay out. The happy fall, y'all, all stays out, Anyways, but a lot of people just want to skip over all that. As we drove home last night, a house down the street that has been kind of doing the early Christmas light thing a couple of years in a row had their Christmas lights turned on. I was like, honey, it is literally Halloween. Like, but it does happen more and more. Matter of fact, when our lawn guys come today, I've got some stuff for them to plant for me because I wanted some fall color on my greenery. It's getting on my nerves. I needed some yellows and needed some fall color. So I went to the place and bought some stuff today. But I will be asking them to make sure to put us on the list to put up our Christmas lights because they've been doing our lights for a couple of years now. So anyways, yeah, we do too. Yvonne I still wait till the day after Thanksgiving to decorate for Christmas. So do we. I'm like, I don't discount Thanksgiving, like I love Thanksgiving also. Anyways, okay. Like I said, really no celebrity news going on. I mean, I guess Eric and Lyle Menendez have a December 11th, I think, date to see this new judge. And if they agree that they get out that day. So that's like 6 weeks away. But other than that, lots of celebrities hosted parties last night. Clearly, there was a lot of people at Jeff Lewis's Adrian Malouf party that he went to. We will chat about all of that, all the hookups, all the hangovers, all the things. Heidi Klum had her famous party that Bethany Frankel went to. Lots of famous people went to. Anyways, other than that, it was a good night. But I don't really know of any other Christmas, any other celebrity news going on. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's chat today's Jeff Lewis Live. No, we got to chat OC. My gosh. I literally got my notes right here and I'm like, why am I not chatting OC? The season finale of season 18 of Real Housewives of Orange County. What did you think? What did you think of the overall season? Like, I'm starting to feel like I feel for every Housewives franchise. I'm starting to feel, obviously, a lot of the newbies, I feel like come in, produce, like they come in hot, like they're producing the drama, they're producing the whatever. I'm starting to feel like some of the OGs are, like Miss Heather freaking Dubrow. Like, what is going on? Like, I didn't like that. I don't like this. I kind of want her uppity, classy, look, I don't know what's going on with her taking her gloves off at Jen's engagement party. So it opens up. Jen and Ryan get engaged on a beach. The ring is huge and beautiful. I don't know how much money he has, but I think if it's such a big storyline that my fiance owes, like, is it 70 something thousand? I don't even know how much it is, but it's such a big story. When Gina says Ryan should have paid down her debt, I'm kind of like, yeah, like that ring had to have been 100,000, 200,000. Like, I don't know the clarity of the diamond. I don't know the color, so I couldn't really tell. Also, I kind of wonder nowadays if these people are doing these laboratory grown diamonds, you know what I mean? Like, not glass, not cubic zirconia, but kind of all the technology that's going around with diamonds and stuff. Anyway, she says yes, she's thrilled. That's not how the show ends, but I think they're okay now. Then Gina is talking to Travis. I don't think she's ever really told us the details about his, I say ex-wife. It's not really his ex-wife. He's still married. That's the problem. But she definitely says, there's been toxic, scary, aggressive behavior from the almost ex-wife of Travis. So she had to get out. She had to free her mind, get her kids out of that. And I understand, like, I don't know we need details because I think that just gives light and energy to Travis's ex-wife, which I think is probably what she wants. But Travis makes no bones about it. He definitely doesn't want to be split up. He doesn't want to be living separately. He feels like Gina is running away from her problems. I'm like, I think she's protecting herself and the kids, which I don't think she felt like she did on her first marriage. I haven't watched that yet. Thank you. Rebecca says, where'd it go? Jen and Ryan came off good on Watch What Happens Live. So the last time Jen was on, Ryan was in the audience and he came off well. So did they. So I don't really know. Yeah, Krista says, so true, Sarah. Lab created is everywhere now. So I just have no idea what that cost. I don't know. That wasn't a thing 20 something years ago when I got married, 24 years ago. How do I feel? Let's see. If it's not a genuine diamond, I kind of wonder. I don't love, how do I put this? I'll just say it. I don't love that it was so gaudy and flashy. I mean, it's over the top. I mean, it looks to be 4 to 5, 6 carats, right? It's not. Let's see if somebody has told us how big it is. How big, like, Google, how big is Jen Pedronti engagement ring? I bet I'm going to be able to find out. 3.5 years they've been together. I was right. It's a 5-carat engagement ring in the Bahamas. So looky there. There's her engagement ring. I mean, that's ginormous, right? So I'm kind of like, if it's not real, I don't know. I think it's a little showy. Anyways, okay, we'll chat about all that. Who is right? Katie or Heather? Like, I do not know what's going on here. I also don't think Emily's twins lied. Like, did Katie's daughter lie? Whatever it is, it all comes out that they're saying Heather is mean. But then did you see the way the production showed that her little 6-year-old son, Katie's little son, is talking at the dinner table? Is Heather still being mean? Is she still being rude to you? Is she still being, and I'm like, who's talking about drama and other women in front of their little kids? You, which we have video proof of, or Emily's twins that we don't have video proof of. We just have your 19-year-old daughter telling this drama. Yvonne Gal says, I believe Katie's daughter. So it boils down that basically Katie and Heather Dubrow both can't stand each other. So they both want to make the other one look bad, right? They're both making themselves look bad at the end of the day also. Uh, yeah, but 10,000 is a lot different than 100 or 200,000 for a 5 carat diamond. Rebecca says over 10,000 probably. Lab created aren't cheap, but they're going to be way cheaper than a diamond, right? 5 carats is very unique, very large. Oh, Jackie said Katie's daughter set her mom up for a storyline for next year. Wait, why next year though? I feel like this story is dead. Are they going to keep pounding this out freaking next year? I kind of hope not. Ugh. Okay. I don't know. I love that Emily is standing up for her kids though, saying, look, don't bring my kids into this. I really don't talk to them about it. I really kind of believe that. First of all, Heather is not her like bestie. They don't hang out at the house. My kids know my friends, but as I get older, there are some friends that I've met lately that my kids have not met yet. Like they wouldn't know their names. I don't really talk about them. We kind of go out in a big group. So there are also my kids aren't 8 years old. Like I'm not going to talk to an 8-year-old about adult women drama. Like that's just kind of weird. Okay, thank you, Sarah Lee. I knew y'all would come to this. Jen's diamond is estimated at $100,000 according to Bravo and Cocktails. Thank you. Anyways, I don't know who's right, but it doesn't look like what if Katie and Heather have a big powwow this spring and start filming again for season 19 and love each other and they're besties? I mean, is this going to be like a Mary and Angie K situation from Salt Lake City? I would just die. Okay. Y'all are believing Katie's daughter. Southern Belle Cell says, I believe Katie's daughter. Little kids are always listening when you think they're not. Which I do believe, but do I believe they would care to listen? Like, I think they listen to like when mom and dad are talking about Santa Claus or talking about what their teacher said on the parent conference. I mean, I think they're listening to the good. Did I hit the mute button for a second? Anyways, am I good now? I think I hit the mute button on accident, which is really odd because I didn't mean to. Sarah Lee says, I don't like Katie's daughter gossiping about the children. Disgusting. Yeah, exactly. And they're boys, like no offense, but 8-year-old boys really don't give a shit. Okay, I've got it now. Down it for now. Anyways, whose ego is bigger? Vicky was at this end of party. I don't like that I even let Alexis host it because I think she just wanted to make sure she was going to. That's the only reason she hosted this. I'm sure Johnny J paid for it. Why did Johnny J have to show up at the very end and get out of the car and kiss Alexis and then be like, okay, we're out of here? I'm like, and then be on the confessional like, Johnny J, wish I could go back to BravoCon 2022 where he was at the lemon, what is it called? What is her business called? The lemons, whatever her healthy tinctures things were. And I stand in line, go to take a picture with Shannon, and Johnny J backs up. And I'm like, no, come get in the picture with us. Now I'm like, I don't even know if I have a picture of me and Shannon alone because another time or two I've met her, I think someone else was with me that I don't want in the picture. Can anyone say former co-host? So, Krista says, Vicky is so egotistical. She thinks she's an OG icon. I mean, she literally thinks she had the idea for the show. She's like, I created the name for the show. I'm like, slow your roll. Like, you're literally calling Tamara having such a big ego, and you've got just as big of an ego. Like, if anything, I don't think Tamara is ever going to be friends with Shannon again. I don't know. But I do see a place where Vicky and Tamara can become friends again. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But Shannon melting down and saying that she's going to leave the event because, of course, more drama going on and accusations and Tamara and what have you. And she's like, look, I am now working on myself. I'm setting boundaries. So now when I say I'm done, I'm really done. So just like London, I'm going to leave y'all. I'm going to fly back by myself. Now I'm going to leave this end of season finale party by myself and leave. And yet she stumbles across Katie's husband, Matt, who she doesn't even know, I don't think. Don't forget the event that Katie hosted at her party. She didn't invite Shannon. She didn't invite, who else did she not invite? Shit. Was it only Shannon? Or was it Alexis also that wasn't there? I can't really remember, but I know Shannon wasn't there basically because she doesn't have a boyfriend or a husband, so she didn't invite her to that event, that barbecue. Um, Anyways, but the husband, Matt, who I think normally tries to stay out of things, I don't know. I kind of agree. I mean, I think he was kind of like, why don't you get yourself out of this situation? Which I think he meant leave the freaking show, go do something else. Like, if this is so bad for you, I think Shannon's basically saying, no, I should be here and Tamara should leave the show. So Shannon's like, I need this. Like, I'm literally a single mom of my 3 grown children that are in college. I don't have another career. I don't have, CBD stuff to sell. Yvonne says, I was super confused why he's catching shit. Are people saying stuff over on the internet about him? I'm not really sure. Yes. Sarah says the editing was great. When Ryan said, it's all God's plan for us, they cut to the dog looking in the camera like help. Oh, and all the stuff that they were saying at that party, and his best friend, who's now pled guilty and faces 18 years in prison for all of his shit. He was joking like, oh, this is my money launderer. And I'm like, why are y'all joking about this? Especially when he eventually pled guilty, which means he did it. Yes, Joe was interesting to see. That was interesting that all roads lead back to Bravo, that Ryan had been Joe's boss at a mortgage company or lending, something like that, when she was 23 years old. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah, but the whole ending of it, when they go to like 3 weeks later, that was crazy. Yvonne Gal says it was just odd that he was there in the line of fire and she's just yelling at him. Yeah, but are people blaming him? Like, I honestly didn't feel he did anything wrong. Like, y'all know I love Shannon, but the tides are turning a little bit for me. I haven't yet listened to the Vial Files, whatever it is, podcast. So let me know if that was better for her, whatever. If she gave any insight about the Joel Kim Booster thing, for sure. But the stuff that I don't know. I don't love all that. The tides are turning for me a little bit. I also, the fact that she was showing this much of a text to throw Gina under the bus, or to get Gina and mad at Tamara, and then also Jen Pedranti to get Tamara again in trouble. And then Tamara's like, look, I've got the text where we were both having the conversation. We were both being super trashy and nitpicky and looking into these people's backgrounds and saying shit that we shouldn't have said. Tamara's like, look, I own it, but don't blame everything on me when we were right there together in cahoots together. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, good. Is it on YouTube? Kimberly J says, I suggest to watch Nick's podcast. Shannon's only on in the last 15 minutes. Okay, good. I was kind of wondering because they kept promoting Shannon, but then they were talking about these 2 or 3 other people that were on. I was kind of like, okay, she says it's worth it. Okay, so it's on Yahoo, YouTube, the Nick Viall, Viall. But okay, Jackie, let's discuss this. Jackie says, I think Shannon should have taken the season off. She needed it financially. This is my thoughts. She needed it financially. She needed to show that she's strong and coming back. But number one, I think she needed it financially. I think she has nothing else going on. She has said that her company, first of all, the cooking company, the frozen foods, the health foods, whatever, that never really took off. I don't think that ever became a product. What did become a product was kind of this healthy lifestyle that clearly doesn't go alongside getting a DUI and having loads of alcohol rumors going around about you. She had like the yoga leggings that I bought, the real for real lemon tinctures to keep you healthy and what have you. I think the tide is turning with some people. Bravo and Stone says, I'm over Shannon's antics. And y'all know I was one of the only ones publicly defending her when her DUI came out. I was like, look, I don't agree with this. It's a mistake. She clearly, people were acting like she has money. Why wouldn't she get an Uber? I'm like, when you're drunk and mad you're not thinking clearly. You're not making your best decisions. It's not like she had someone with her saying, "Let's get an Uber." You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, I've heard a lot of things about Nick Viall. I don't think I've ever watched one of his podcasts. I know there's a lot of controversy with him. Michael Riley says, Nick is gross. I could barely look at him. Michael Riley said, Shannon never sold enough of that on QVC, and I didn't buy any of it. The meals looked kind of skimpy. Oh, she did actually sell meals? I kind of forgot about that. I never knew that came to fruition. I just bought the tincture off of her Real for Real website. My friends and I tried it in 2018, 2019. It was gross. And we're like, that shit doesn't work. Yes, Krista says, I was very gracious when the story broke. Yeah, but a lot of people were blasting her. But now, when I see text messages, I don't like when someone is going to try to show this much of a text and throw other people under the bus and get Tamara in trouble when they were each having equally gross conversations and working together to bring other people down. You know what I mean? Raquel says Bravo is cleaning house and getting rid of the old timers to bring them back as friends and half the pay. For example, look at Cynthia. Yeah. And even Cynthia says it's a lot less money, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of money. Like compared to what normal people do for a job, it is a lot of money. And again, I mean, besides the acting, I don't think Cynthia's sunglasses line is still going on. What else has she had? Has she had a wig line? I feel like. Why am I thinking that? I feel like she had that modeling company that was kind of like to show kids, maybe adults, how to get into modeling or something. Southern Belle says there's no excuse to drive drunk. It doesn't matter if you're upset. It's not an excuse to me. It's a reason. Like alcohol makes you not think clearly. So she wasn't making a good decision. She also had no one with her that was sober making her make that decision. So anyways, Dory says, I'm kind of over Shannon. She's once again playing a victim. Poor me. And the fact that she really thought that Katie's husband, Matt, did something wrong by telling her, well, maybe you need to leave the situation. I don't think he meant that in a bad way at all, because first of all, he has no relationship with her. He has no reason to tell her that. It's not like Shannon and Katie are fighting and his wife hates her. She had no reason to say that. I think he honestly was like, first of all, I don't even know you. I'm standing here by myself. You came over to talk and I tell you something. And now you're like, are you serious? Are you serious? Katie, you have no idea what your husband said to me. And I'm like, he didn't say anything wrong. Yvonne Gal says, Lori, especially a private university in Texas. That's wild. Yeah. I mean, I mean, she's graduated, so hopefully she has a job. She's living in New York, but I can't imagine she can afford to live in New York on her own. I don't know what apartment or whatever living situation she has. But another one is at American University in Paris. Can't be cheap. And another one's is it NYU? Is the other one at? I mean, so she just finished paying for one college. Now she's still got two in college. So, and lives in Orange County. I mean, one of the most expensive areas. Okay. So at the very end, Johnny J shows up. They go off into the thing. They have all the typical ending things. And then it says 3 weeks later, and Jen Pedranti shows up and she's just flat out denial. So now we know, and they put on there that her fiance Ryan got what's the word they used? The thing like your immunity, right? Like full immunity. Basically, he must have had to have ratted his friend out because clearly he says he was his best friend. They went on trips together all the time. He had a gambling business, or what do you call it? A betting, whatever that's called, betting, gambling, whatever. He had a business. So he clearly had to talk for sure. And he got full immunity, and his friend has pled guilty and is set up to get 18 years in prison or faces 18 years in prison. Wonder if that's happened. So this finished. I don't know how to find out. Guilty. I don't know how. Does anyone know what if he's got? I don't know how to figure it out. Jen Shaw. That brings up Jen Shaw. Drug charge. That was the Josh thing, which is sad because he's passed away now. September 22. Anyways, I mean, I don't know. Two are in college and one just graduated. I think she's living with or, engaged with her boyfriend. Michael Riley says, I hope all of Shannon's girls are working. I mean, I don't feel like they do. You know what I mean? Bravo and Stoned. When Shannon broke the enema and David had to help her, I knew then he had a side chick. Why? Wait, what does that mean? He had a side chick because he felt like he owed Shannon something. He felt guilty or something. I don't know. Your best friend Liz says who passed away. There was a story came up of Josh, which was the adult son of Lori. Remember the OG first season Real Housewives of OC girl who ended up marrying a super rich, apparently super nice guy named George. Her son passed away like within the year and a half of a drug overdose or something like that. So he had other issues. What else? I love that y'all get so chatty with me. I love it so much. Okay, let's chat today's Jeff Lewis Live. Could anyone tell the difference between Aaron and Sarah Foster's voices? I could not. The only way is the specifics they were saying. So basically, when Sarah Foster was on the first time, or I think the first time, I have a podcast. I think Annie was working with me at that point, making my videos. She might have made a video about Sarah Foster. I don't remember. Somehow Sarah Foster caught wind that I said she was boring. I wasn't the only one that said she was boring. And actually, I went back and listened, or somebody did and sent me the clip. I said the show was boring. I did not specifically say that Sarah Foster was boring. So after today, I will not only say that she's boring, I will say she's a prude. I will say she tried to produce Jeff Lewis Live today, and I wasn't here for it. I'm like, they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. Multiple times she tried to shame them and act like, do your listeners even want to hear this? Like Aaron and Jeff, I think this is a private conversation. Aaron and Jeff, I think this should be a text message. Aaron and Jeff, I think this feels very out of touch for your listeners. I'm like, no, we love listening to this shit. Like, I have no idea what a PVOC or HPOZ, whatever it is. I've met the guy, shout out Nick. I've met a guy that works there and has been in these meetings with Jeff. He hasn't told me any details, but I just know what it is because I don't live in an older area. I don't, my house isn't historical or anything. So there's no codes to live up to in that aspect. But I understand from Jeff talking about it, but I know my imitations. I didn't mean to imitate her. Peanut. What are y'all who is Peanut? Peanut the squirrel with the hot dad? Wait. What? I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Lori says, I think they said he was a witness and got immunity. And so Ryan got immunity. Yeah. Which meant he had to rat him out, tell them, which meant he knew some bad shit was going on. Like, don't let them joke when the camera's around saying, this is my money launderer. Like if $16 million, first of all, if I have any friends that know how to put money into my bank account. You are welcome to Zelle me $16 million, but don't ask for that shit back. I'm just going to act like, oh, it was a gift, whatever. But if somebody is asking you to hold money so it doesn't look like it's in their bank account and you understand all the legal or criminal ramifications of that, you're guilty too. It's like an accomplice. You are assisting them in making illegal decisions, right? For whatever all this is that I don't understand this. Michael Riley says, did Heather Dubrow's husband say that? Is that your money laundering friend? I couldn't tell who said it. I felt like it was the guy, I think his name is Matt, Ryan's best friend, that said, this is my money launderer. I thought they said that, but I've already deleted the show, so I don't know. Dory says, my daughter lives in a historic neighborhood. Those people on the committee are a pain in the ass. I mean, it's kind of their job, but yeah, I get it. I thought it was interesting though. And I thought Erin who's like further along in the process of her remodeling at Hancock Park. I thought she was giving him very useful information. Like I was learning, hey, if I'm ever a rich girl and win the lottery and buy a house in Hancock Park, which I wouldn't, I thought, you know what? At least I know, hey, you can't change hardscaping, which I only learned the word hardscaping off of Hollywood House Lift. You can't change hardscaping into trees. You can't take trees or shrubs into hardscaping, but within reason, you can put up as many trees. I mean, I learned all that. You know what I mean? Michael Riley says, my friend Cheryl has 2 historic homes, and those people are the worst people to deal with. I mean, I do feel like it's a little schmoozing. Like maybe you got to take them out for margaritas, like, I don't know. Oh, I love that. Krista says, I have a 1910 house and it's constant difficulty. Oh, I love watching those houses though on like House Hunters and stuff. Anyways, okay. I just felt like she was playing the producer. I didn't like that. They were plugging everything. I'm like, how freaking rich. Your dad is David Foster. Had no idea what your mom does, no idea when the divorce happened, how much money you have, if you get anything from your dad as adults, which I don't think you should. But I'm just saying, it's not like you grew up poor. You probably married somebody that's not poor. Sarah is going through a very nice separation, I guess, eventually divorce, like they're still living together, but they just want to plug everything. And I'm like, just come on. And well, I couldn't tell who wanted to plug everything. You know what I mean? Oh, is he creepy? Wow. He's richer because he writes the songs, right? All the songwriters are the ones who get the money. Krista said David Foster is richer than anyone would ever dream. Wow. And I did see, so Aaron Foster, wait, who was on recently? Aaron Foster? Somebody was on Watch What Happens Live the other day. Was it Sarah? Anyways, about the Sarah thing. So the first time she was on, she catches wind. Well, this is when they were videoing. And so the commercial breaks, whatever. She comes on, and on one of the videos, on the commercial breaks or the pre-show, she tells Jeff, she's like, who is this? I think I was Jeff Lewis obsessed at the time, my social names. And she was like, whoever that is, that girl hates me. Like she was talking about me and calling me boring. And I'm like, settle down. Like I'm a fan account. Like obviously, if you learned anything, a lot of us thought you were boring. But clearly I said the show was boring. I did not say that she was boring. She's taken that on herself. I think she was a husband. Were they not married? Mama Judy says Sarah Foster and her boyfriend, baby daddy, just recently split. Yeah. But she says they were already living separately when they filmed Hollywood House Lift. So that's 2 years ago, probably. So they were on the outs even then. And Jeff even said, I knew something was wrong. And she's like, well, he just travels a lot. And he's like, no, I just knew something was wrong. So, Krista says David Foster outed himself as a dog when he abandoned Yolanda in her illness. He's now married to a child he groomed. Isn't she like a famous actor? The lady he's married to? And they always have problems, and they're talking about going to counseling, and they just make their problems. David Foster wife. That Catherine McPhee. Yeah, she's a huge actress. Catherine McPhee. They got engaged in 2018 and they got married in 2019 June. They gave birth to Rennie David in 2021. And he's the one that they've shown like doing oh, she was an American Idol winner? Wait, what? She's nobody? Oh, all she is married to David. Did she meet him really? Is this like a story like no offense, Celine Dion, but like Celine Dion? You know, Celine Dion's eventual husband met her when she was like 12 or 14, like met her professionally. And then they ended up getting married when she was like 19 or 17. Ugh, no, we do not. That's so funny. Rebecca says, silly random question. Do Sarahs with an H and Sarahs without an H live in harmony? No. No. It's not that we don't live in harmony. The other day, when I cooked something that my kids didn't want, my daughter and I went through the drive-through of Cane's Chicken. Chicken, is that what it's called? Cane's? Little Cane's? Whatever that place. Cane's Chicken? Anyways, I feel like it's called something besides Cane's. Anyways, and the lady standing there, she said, "What's the name for your order?" And I said, "Sarah." And she said, "Oh, that's my name." And I said, "Oh, Sarah with an H?" And she goes, "No." And I go, "Oh." So it's kind of a joke between Sarah's with an H and Sarah's without. Shout out. There's several Sarah's on here and several have no H. Several do have an H. Raising Cane's. Yes, that's the name. Thank you. Oh my God. The Raising Cane sauce. Oh, so freaking good. Anyway, so if I meet a Sarah that's with an H like I am, then we have like this camaraderie, even though neither one of us had any responsibility in how our name came about or the spelling of it. But anyways, is one of the sisters married to a tennis player? Yvonne Gal says, I don't know. Would that be Aaron maybe? I have no idea. I don't really know about them. Anyways, they wanted to plug favorite daughter, which I guess is something they do together. Their fashion thing, like expensive jeans. I call it expensive. Maybe it's cute, but it's very traditional, very preppy. It's stuff that I would wear if I spent that much money on my clothes, which Lord knows at 30, 35 pounds heavier than I'd like to be, I am not buying a darn thing. This shirt is like a button. Why does it keep hitting the mute button? That's so weird. Like all I didn't even hit anything. How can I get out of that? Anyways, okay. Anyways, their Netflix show, which is huge. I probably won't be watching it, but one of them is the writer. Sarah is an executive producer. Michael Hitchcock is on it. I know. Am I off? I'm unmuted, right? I know. I think I hit the button, which is weird because it's on the bottom of my laptop. Somebody give me a thumbs up real quick. I'm pretty sure it's good, but just making sure. I love the show. I watched the whole thing. It's a nice show on Netflix. Yes, I need to do that, Susan. I like the clothes that I have. They're just too tight on me. You can use new clothes as a reward to yourself if you go down in sizes. I know. And you know me, I love to donate as soon as I lose any weight. So of course I've donated all those bigger clothes. Yeah, it's called Nobody Wants This. I guess it's sort of loosely based on them because they're podcasters, but yet their real dad on the show is gay, and of course their real dad is not. So it's not exactly, but somebody says she gets access to roles through her husband. Ooh. Anyways, Erin just seemed way cooler. Like I did ask on my Instagram which sister you'd want to hang out with, and I hope you all say Erin. Because Sarah just seemed like a bore today, just trying to produce the show, acting like she's not as rich as she is. I'm like, honey, just even Erin was like, why are you acting like you're not rich? Like, why are you acting like you don't? Like, it was crazy. Anyways, finally, Jeff talks about the party from last night because Shane comes in with sunglasses on, totally uh, hungover from the party. I don't even though Jeff was teasing him a couple times, because I think twice in the after show the 2nd hour, I think Shane had to get up and go try to throw up, but I don't think he was successful, like, trying to make himself feel better. I don't feel Jeff loves that. I even though Shane left earlier than Jeff did, clearly Jeff is able to function. He's not wearing sunglasses. He's not going to throw up. He's not feeling good. And I don't know. I just have a feeling that he doesn't love that when that happens. Um, wait, what are we talking about? Aaron Leachy all of a sudden? Krista says, I have to agree with you. Aaron Leachy is gorgeous. I mean, I do love Aaron Leachy. Do love an Aaron Leachy for sure. Lori, the two on today. Oh, yes. Aaron and Sarah Foster on today's show. They did call Michael Beck. Michael Beck is not feeling good either. Didn't know where his car was, his rental Mercedes. Knowing he's got a Porsche. I mean, I've told y'all, he's a young guy. I don't know how old Michael Beck is. I've met him in person a couple times. He is super good looking. His mom is super nice. His stepdad. He's very successful, and I think he's very responsible with money. I don't know. I just feel like he's very responsible, but he does like to have a good time. What's that saying? I work hard and I play hard. I feel like that's who he is. I mean, okay. So the first time I met Jeff at the November 2021 Jeff Lewis Live event show in Burbank, he gave me one of those drinks. I took a sip of it. It's disgusting. I threw it out. I had it closed up for a while. I think I threw it out immediately. Anyways, I don't know. Southern Belle says, off subject, how do Housewives or Jeff get over hangovers? Is it Adderall? I think people use Adderall to not eat. That's what I've always heard people use Adderall about, but I have no idea. That could be a joke. Anyways, is Jeff really serious? Did he hook up with 2 guys last night? And was one really in Adrian Malouf's kid's bedroom? Like at this party? I'm kind of like, what really happened? Michael definitely hooked up with somebody like the chef or somebody, the cook in the garage. I'm like, pretty sure if you're working a private party, you shouldn't be hooking up with some guy in the garage. Like, as speed. But I think I've heard of people using it to not eat, like, some of the chumps, I think, have said it. Krista says Adderall is an ADHD medicine that's abused by people as speed. Wow. I mean, Bravo and Stone says, I still think about Yolanda Foster's walk-in refrigerator. Was it a walk-in? I just remember it being clear glass and the fruit was like sitting there in a bowl and like it looked like she had like 4 things in there and it was just it's almost like those TikToks that show people's refrigerators, like flowers and like landscaping and just like a bowl of fruit. I'm just like, where's the milk with all the crusties on the below it? Where's the soggy, avocado? Where's the half drank overdue thing of orange juice that nobody's going to eat, waiting on mom to throw out? I mean, that's what my refrigerator is about. Yes, Yolanda lives in like Fort Worth, Texas now. So she's got like a ranch and her house is just as stunning as ever. Like she just has style. Like she was a model. Her 2 daughters are models. She's beautiful. She's rich. I mean, she just has style though. Like she knows how to put that. I think she knows how to be a housewife. She knows how to be, like she was always, for better or for worse, because clearly it didn't work out. She was always really presenting herself and doing everything for David Foster when they were married. It was, amazing. Yeah, Rebecca says, I don't know if I want people hooking up during my party in my house. I mean, I definitely don't. I mean, but I definitely don't have, yeah, the organic salad going bad. Yeah, exactly. Nobody Wants This is a cute show. You should watch it. I won't. Not enough time in the day. What else? I just felt like Jeff I don't know. I feel like we might hear about Shane being hungover for weeks. Like, I just don't think it was a good thing. I don't think Jeff is gonna be happy about that. On the second hour was Ben and Ronnie from Watch What Crappens, the podcast. It's been around like 12 years-ish. So good. Jeff said they were gonna open up the calls immediately because they know so much about Bravo, but I don't really know that they took many calls today, did they? I mean, we got a call from Michael Beck on the first hour. They talked to Naya, whose car battery is dead now, so she wasn't at work yet again. Um, oh, Kimberly says, I used to take Adderall for ADHD. It doesn't curb my appetite or make me speedy. I guess that's because I actually have ADHD. Oh, well, I just figured they were side effects of it. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, Sherry says, I agree with Jeff. She's so free with her Mega Million house. Yeah, but it needs to be updated. Have you seen the videos of her kitchen? I'm just saying. She needs to update her house. Yolanda, is she Swedish? I don't really know. Is she from Sweden? Let's look this up. Sarah Lee. Yolanda, she goes by Hadid, right? I don't think she ever changed her name. Yolanda Hadid is her name, which is the first husband. Dutch. What is Dutch? Is that Swedish? Is that one of those things where it's a different whatever, like Dutch is the language, but Swedish is the Swedish is the language? Danish, Dutch. Is that different than Sweden? I have no idea. Candace says, where did that go? What is Ben and Ronnie's podcast again? It's called Watch What Crappens, Crappens. Watch What Crappens is what their podcast is called. Jeff has a colonoscopy tomorrow, his very first one. So he's starving the day after drinking and going to a party. Probably not the best plans. I feel like he's not going to be cleaned out. I feel like he's going to cheat. Blame it on Shane for not reading all the directions, or blame it on housekeeper Nancy for not buying all the right stuff, and he's going to be a fail. The doctor's going to say you're not cleaned out well enough. I don't know. He didn't seem to know what prep foods he could take. If he could, I feel like the day before, I feel like 2 or 3 days before, you're on kind of generic food, but the day before, you're literally on chicken broth, nothing red, nothing blue, maybe pudding, but maybe just Jell-O. I don't really remember. I will be having my 3rd colonoscopy very soon. I know I've got my pre-meeting on a Zoom sometime soon, and then they will book the colonoscopy because I am 51 and it will be my 3rd one. Ben was just on. Oh, I did want to listen to that. Rebecca says Ben from Watch What Crappens was just on Justin's podcast, which is called Just Saying with Justin Martindale. Yeah, nothing red or purple. Wait a minute. Lori, you can't say this because colon cancer is one of the most, the easiest to catch early. Lori says, I've had one. We'll never do it again. Why? The prep? I mean, it's not fun. But if you do it right, they clean out any of the why was it a worst experience? Now, I don't remember any of this propofol joy that they're talking about. Like, I must not feel any of that, or whatever it is. I must not need that joy in my life because I don't remember any of that, but I don't ever have a lot of surgery. So I definitely am not, addicted to propofol like Erin Foster talked about with all of her IVFs. I don't know. Good news. He said, I was clean as a whistle. That's good. So you probably don't need to go back for 8 to 10 years, but I do hope you schedule your next one on time because you do want to make sure. And Jeff's 54 and a half. I mean, he's kind of late to be doing his first one. Anyways, well, we are going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for ending your Friday afternoon with us. I love it so much. I hope you do too. If you do, please take 2 seconds and hit the thumbs up button or hit the like button, whichever one. Facebook page has a like button, YouTube has a thumbs up button. Hit a comment. If you can, go find my podcast anywhere you listen at Sarah from Texas. Scroll down a little bit and see the stars. Give me a 5-star rating, and then click the button that says write a review and write something. I would really appreciate it. Y'all have a fabulous weekend. Make sure you're following me everywhere at Sarah from Texas Podcast. I mostly post on my Instagram stories, but I do post on TikTok also. So I will see you Monday, same place, same time. Bye, Chumpettes. Have a blessed day and weekend, Marla says. I love that. God bless. I just love us together so much. It's amazing. Okay, bye, Chumpettes.